We just got up to the second floor of the South Hall. This is known as the Off-Road Hall. Pretty much anything Jeep related, truck related, or off-road related, this is where it's at. Let's go look for Dynatrac. I got sidetracked. It's a pretty clean looking Willys wagon. Of course, it's brought out by Crown. They always bring out some pretty nice old iron. Ooh, look at that, teal metallic. 1963 Jeep Traveler, Willys wagon. This thing is gorgeous. Look at this, number 385 of 705. It's old school winch. Ramsey, you can see how long they've been around. It's got ambulance doors, nice bench in the back, folding up, wood runners. So much want. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Tony, Lizard.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
Hey Jim, how you doing? Long time no see. So cool, we're over here at the Dynatrac booth. We definitely wanted to hit this on our first day here at the show. I'm standing here with Jim McGee. He's going to show us some of the cool things that they've got going at this show. So what do we got here?
All right, Eddie, well, let's look at the ProRock 44 for the JL, right? So ProRock 44 has just been a huge success for us. There's more ProRock 44s out there in the field than all our competitors combined. And we're really, really happy. It's a highly durable product, proven, great ground clearance, all made in USA, materials, labor, everything. And we need that for the JL. And obviously, if you watch social media these days, there's a lot of ample evidence. A lot of people thought JL axles were going to be immune from axle failures. Well, it turned out not to be the case. So these are going to be available like in the next few weeks. So we're going to be able to start shipping these out very quickly. And it's a bolt-in just like the old ProRock 44. And it's going to be ready to go. Pricing is a little higher, but not very much. We included some features as standard now that were optional. So we are using the same tubing that we've used in the ProRock 60, whereas the JK ProRock 44 is a little smaller tube. And this is thick wall comes standard that way. Everybody always bought that, so we decided let's just make it the standard.
Why don't you tell me some of the features on this axle that make it a huge improvement over what comes standard on a JL?
Okay, so number one thing is even though JLs came out with bigger tubes, they're still not this big. Okay, so basically the strength of this housing is more than double a JL housing. The end forgings are also a lot beefier. And just like we did on the JK, the JL end forgings were an improvement over JK, but still, for a guy that's trying to run a 37 and doing trails, you've seen pictures on the internet of housings broken in half. That's not going to be a problem here. Not only that, but end forging, deviation or bending can still occur. With the kind of suspension that a lot of guys are capable of putting on the cars now, they don't feel the harshness of those trails, so they don't realize what's going on down there. But it's still going on. So this is important. You need this kind of strength.
So by looking at this, the tubes look about 3 inches in diameter.
Actually, 3 1/8.
3 1/8, and what is the wall thickness?
Half wall.
So everybody, this is a half wall, and it's a little bit more than 3 inches in diameter. Better than a true 44 in terms of its thickness and strength.
Right.
So some of the other features too. Do we have any built-in caster on this axle?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So we'll just like the ProRock 44, we'll have a standard version that'll have the OE geometry for those guys doing lower lifts. For the guys that want to do like a 3-inch and taller lift, we'll offer an unlimited version which has more pinion angle and a little extra caster.
Awesome. So I think just by looking at the bracketry here, you definitely have something to incorporate the factory steering stabilizer. Right. Do you have any options in regards to, say, like a RAM assist in the future?
We're watching that. So right now we don't see a lot of RAM assist kits out there for the JL because of the electric power steering system. There's some stuff out there where you can basically gut all that and put a JK system in there. And certainly, we can put a RAM on for a customer that's doing that. But I think we're going to see some innovation in steering. There's two areas that JL is still so new that we got to see some dust settle in our industry, and one is steering, and the other is in suspension. There's just a lot of kits coming out. There'll be some innovation, some new ideas, I hope, and we'll want to do some maybe changes to the housings as that stuff hits the market and proves itself.
So the big question I know everyone's going to want to know is the FAD. I noticed that you do not have an FAD unit
Right.
here. So is that going to be a problem, or how are we dealing with this?
There's two systems on the market right now that you can buy that you can flash your computer to eliminate the front axle disconnect. It's relatively straightforward. You have to get, because we're eliminating the front axle disconnect, this housing comes with shafts too. So every ProRock 44 we sell for JL will come with a new set of US-made chromoly shafts, and you can supply your own outers. We have more things coming that I can't really talk about today, but right now that'll get a lot of people with JLs out on the trail, dependable and ready to go.
So the one question I wanted to ask was, when I look at the housing, this actually looks like a JK44, just a standard 44 housing. Is it safe to assume that the internals are also a JK?
That's correct, and we did that on purpose. So I know that the new JL gears there's some information that's been put out there that they're stronger. We just haven't seen any proof or evidence of that. However, we do know that we've shipped thousands and thousands of these with JK gears, and we've had customers, even though we don't recommend it, running 40-inch tires. And so the JK gears are proven. They're plentiful, they're economically priced, you can buy them from a whole bunch of different places, so we want to stick with something that we knew worked for sure. If the JL gears appear to have some advantages that we just got to have, then we'll adapt to that. But right now we felt stick with JK gears was the best move. Also, there's very few differentials available, aftermarket selectable lockers, and so by sticking with JK internals, now you can buy those, the same parts that we've been using and are also proven and well tested.
So one last question is that for those of you who know, the Sport and Saharas have actually a different width axle than the Rubicons. How are you guys addressing that? Are you going to be making one size?
Two different part numbers. So
Okay.
you can order, if you have a Sport Sahara, you can get that width. We've had a lot of people ask, well, can I get it wider? Yes, of course you can. And so you could also expect that we'll have coming down the road some other rear axle options to match with that. So similar to some of the packages we have today, you can expect to see some of that stuff emerge here very shortly.
So I know a lot of you have been wanting to know, what has AEV been up to in regards to the Jeep JL Wrangler? As you can see here at the 2018 SEMA Show, they've got a two-door, lifted and looking really sharp, as well as a four-door. Swing around, take a look at what it's got. Just like the JK, it looks like they've got a new bumper tire carrier that ties directly into the frame, as you can see here. And it attaches to the tailgate itself to allow for one-handed or a single-handed operation. So I'm not exactly sure how much of lift this two-door JL Wrangler has, but it's certainly big enough to clear a set of 37-inch BFGs mounted on these Bora wheels made by AEV. Also new this year is this very nice bumper that AEV is making for the JL. You can see that in this particular form, it's in a stubby format. They're normally known for their full width bumpers that actually go all the way up to the fenders, but in this particular case, this is something more of us here in America would be looking after. What's nice about this front bumper is that it gives you these light mounts attached to this hoop. It also gives you a recessed mounting position for the winch itself. It looks like it's also got some ports right here to allow for high lift jacks and of course D-ring mounts. Oh, here's a nice feature. They've even got in this lower air dam or skid plate a light bar attached on the back of it. That's kind of tricky. So here on the Forder, you can see that it's actually got the full width bumper that you're normally accustomed to seeing on a JK, but they've changed a few of the lines to make it more custom for the JL itself, which is a real nice improvement. Again, on the skid plate itself here, or the air dam, they've got the light mounted behind it. Recessed winch mount, and the hoop has light mounts as well. Haven't seen Mitch since 2012. Why don't you take me around, show me what you got? Sure.
So new for this one, we've got the Savegre 2 wheel. It's JL specific offset. The rear bumper's new. It's still a little bit prototype stage. These are no longer going to be water tanks. We're going to set it up for a dual swing out. We've also got an integrated optional step into the bumper.
That is cool.
Yeah. So you can either put the license plate here and leave the step off, or mount the plate to the back of the bumper. Cross-link polyethylene snorkel. Same basic design as we had. Feeds through the hood, the side of the hood. This has got our 2.5-inch suspension on it. We're going to call it the RT suspension. Uses a Bilstein 5100 like the old JK did. Geometry-wise, it's all same theory as our JK products. Front bumper, we went to a modular design. You can see over here we've got the stubby bar and then the full width. There'll be a couple of different corners for the bumper itself, just to match up with flares better, the optional. It's all stamped, high strength boron, hot stamped steel. The top tube is aluminum. Goes all the way down, hits the frame mounts. This is a 2.5 mil thick steel, but it's actually stronger than previous bumpers because of the hot stamped boron steel. Integrated toe points again. We've actually left room for a light bar in the skid plate.
That's cool. I saw that.
Yeah. High lift jack points. Nice and open here so you can see what your cable's doing. Our own and our own lights actually now this year.
So are these just like traction pads for stepping on?
Knee pads.
Knee pads.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So when you're working on stuff under the hood, your knees.
I was wondering about that. It's like soft.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think you guys have always made a great looking full width front bumper, but I'm a stubby kind of guy. I walked up to this, I saw this.
Yeah.
This actually looks really sharp. You guys.
Lack of a better term, I'm a stubby guy myself.
Yeah. It looks good. It reminds me of what you could get from the factory with the steel bumper group, but with more refined lines. It doesn't have that kind of plasticky feel.
Yeah, and you're gaining ground clearance with this one. It's upswept. It's actually mounted a little higher too.
Very cool.
Most other bumpers you'll see.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I see. I watch your.
I feel like I'm on your trips.
Yeah,
you're going to be. So we're walking up to the Rugged Ridge display. Also, Amixata, they're all part of the Truck Heroes group now.
Yes, I
Hey,
did.
how you doing, Patrick?
How's it going,
Long
man?
time no see.
Yeah.
Came by here first day because I want to know, what do you guys got going?
Well, obviously, like everybody else, it's JL.
Absolutely. What are we looking at? What do you got so far?
Well, first off, since we're right here and we'll walk around, the biggest thing is we actually have redone our tube doors. These are our brand new tube doors. What's been the worst thing about tube doors, and it's just been operation, construction, and everything. So we've gone to a full rotary latch. So it's an automotive style door.
Nice.
So basically, when you close it, I mean, there's no slamming. It's just done. I mean, and it's just nice, easy maneuvering and handling. So, plus the Jeeps gradually are all getting a little bit bigger. We increased the tube diameter, added in a styling element that tied it more into the vehicle, and also the biggest thing was adjustability in the hinges. There's always been problems with adjustability and making sure that they line up. So with the adjustability in there, you're guaranteed fitment there. And then also infinite adjustability in your latching system here.
That's clean. Now, obviously, you painted this to match this Jeep.
Right.
Would they normally come, powder coated
They're
black?
going to come in a smooth finish powder coat.
Okay.
All right, so they'll come black. This is actually just a SEMA Show prototype to gauge interest, but one of the things we just went in and we trimmed out the factory Rubicon flares, which is a very, very clean look, and it's something that we want to explore further to see if that's the direction we want to take. Instead of being gimmicky, do something clean, something that looks like it's supposed to have been on the vehicle from the start. And that includes incorporating, like, the chop feature, but incorporating actually OE style lighting. So these are actually light. This is a DRL with a turn signal. So it matches what the factory decided.
Patrick, thank you. I can't tell you how much I am so happy to see this, because we got our Rubicon specifically because we love our fenders.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to chop it, but I didn't like any of the options I've seen as of yet, because I want to keep it light.
Well, that's what we're working on right now. I still got to battle that because it is a cost of components, but this has a design patent applied for, so we are moving forward with that clean OE style look.
This looks awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. tell me where I can send a check to get one because I'm buying it.
Well, this is we applied for it. It was like last minute. I actually, the week I was building this, I built these in 2 days for the show.
Now you're just bragging.
No, but the thing is, but it's one of those things like you've got to build something to get buy-in from people to go, oh, I get what you're saying, because you try to describe it, you can draw it all day long. Right. Until they physically see it, they don't make the connection.
Oh no, this is exactly what I've been looking for, and I promise you, I will buy this as soon as it's available.
That's what we're looking to hear from. Okay. And then we're gauging interest on stuff like that. We actually, when we came out with the XHD bumper way back in 07, 08, it was an innovative bumper, and if you notice, everybody went to a modular type bumper. So what we did is we took elements of our XHD, tied them into this bumper, and then came out with some new aggressive pieces. Like this is going to be a styling element on ours. The construction's a lot better. The styling matches the vehicle. We actually have our heavy-duty light guards. So there's 3 mounting points. This bolts to those 3 mounting points. So it is actually a real guard. It's not a pop-in. It's not a stick-on. If we go around, what you're going to see is the new snorkel design. Again, we wanted to design something that matched the Jeep. Right? So what we did is we pulled the lines from the cowl piece over, everything flows as it should. Even when we did the JK, we wanted to make it where you only had to cut the very minimum. So we had the line you had to cut in the fender. You don't take the fenders off, you don't do anything.
No kidding.
The only thing you do is you take the air box out, pop a piece off, and I'll show you what that is. So it's 100%, it just drops into place, runs along the engine compartment, ties into the factory air box.
Oh, that's clever. So it's all bolt-on.
It's all bolt-on, no cutting, no anything. The worst thing you have to do is take the air box out. Okay. To do a little bit of tweaking there. Obviously, because it goes in before the filter, you don't have to worry about carb either. So it's 50 state legal out of the box. So no more cutting or anything. You just drop it in.
How long do you think of an install is this for a regular guy?
For a regular guy, honestly, you take the air box out, well under an hour. I mean, you're probably looking at 30 minutes at most.
So there's really no
literally 4 bolts. That piece comes out. You just put the pieces together, and really the only part you have to do is modify a little bit to the air box.
That's awesome. So, I'm going to guess a lot of guys are going to do this just because it's so easy to install.
As usual, we have, we got the floor liners. You got your door entry guards. New multi-mount. We do have that ready to go. Drops right in place. Elite taillight guards. These are the full aluminum housings. New. Again, redesign of the XHD rear bumper. This is a prototype. The actual hook will be much bigger. High lift jack compatible. Sure. Low profile, nice clean look, matches the fender lines as well. New heavy duty tire carrier. We've got it designed and ready to go. Forged hinges. It's not a slip on top like the Jeep. This is the full replacement, similar to our other design.
So this attaches to the bolts that are inside the tub.
And that's kind of it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.